I'm the Mystic Nonconformist Tay, and I am going to tell you about this upcoming Gemini full moon. And on December the 15th, that's happening on Sunday, this coming Sunday, what we're going to have is Mercury actually going direct in the sign of Sagittarius. See, the purpose of full moons are to have this great epiphany, right? To have a light bulb, because when there's a full moon, the moon is very bold, it's bright, it spots like things that we should change or things that we are leaving. When the full moon is in Gemini, we're spotlighting some things that we have mental clarity on now because Mercury will be going direct. It won't be going direct right at the time of the full moon, but on that same day, like at the end of the day. So Gemini full moon is saying there's some things that you need to end that's not giving you clarity, that's not giving you peace, that's giving you anxiety, because those are the negative traits that are associated with Gemini. And it's basically saying you need to get a clue and you need to have more of a firm grip on your everyday reality, because that's Gemini. Gemini is your neighborhood, it's your brother, it's where you're going, it's where you're traveling in your immediate environment. And it's saying that there is an ending to some of the things happening in your immediate environment. Now, like I said, Mercury will be going direct in the sign of Sagittarius, which means that now that we're blurting out stuff, you know what I'm saying? Now that we're blurting out stuff, it's starting to make sense now. We're starting to get a grip on how we can communicate ideas and things to other people. And basically what's happening is now that we've gotten clarity, because Mercury's direct, Mercury's the dispositor of Gemini, now that we have clarity on the situations that we have, now that we have our truths, where exactly do we need to end or change things or make a change? We're going to get into that when we do all the signs. So basically during this time, we're going to be graduating in the area that the Gemini full moon is in. So let me tell you about our top transits. Our top transits are Mercury in Sagittarius, trining Mars retrograde in the sign of Leo. So expect for our communication to get more clearer, more direct. We have more focus and motivation, but Mars is turned inward. So now we're mentally busy. So we're like, okay, we have clarity on this now. What is our next action? Everybody's planning and plotting, okay? Everybody's planning and plotting like Pinky in the Brain or some shit.
Dude, mate, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
That's basically what's happening. We're going to be very mentally busy. We're going to be mentally productive, and we're going to be kind of confident about it. But we just don't know when we're going to take action. Mars is still retrograde in the sign of Leo. So some of the actions that we take, or we feel that what we do or what we say will lead to lucrative results, because this is a trine aspect being made, which means that it's an easy aspect. It'll have us feeling confident, but it will take a while for us to see the results of what we're communicating and what we're doing. I could also see that there'll be a little bit of, instead of debate around this time, it'll be intellectual banter, you know, a little back and forth. And it may consist of some pride or trying to prove something to someone, but that's how you undo things because Mars is still retrograde. So I would say have the intellectual banter, but don't have it get so serious, or don't have your whole pride and ego and thing resting on these conversations that you have with people in your immediate surroundings. The next aspect that I wanted to get into is Jupiter squaring Saturn. Now, Jupiter is in the sign of Gemini and it's retrograde. So Jupiter's little, it's isolated. It's thinking over a couple of things, the plan of luck, expansion, and abundance, and it's squaring Pisces Saturn. We're going to have this type of push and pull between having control and structure and then having the time to want to celebrate, to want to expand, to want to socialize, to want to learn. Saturn is saying learn, but don't learn too much. Be confident, but remember to dot your I's and cross your T's. We're having to work hard in order to keep our faith around this time, because we are living in like some times where we feel like we are losing our faith. But I don't think it's going to be that harsh, because this Gemini full moon is going to give us a lot of higher thinking, because the signs Gemini and Sagittarius are all about possibilities and what we can do. Saturn squaring Jupiter is trying to ruin that. Jupiter retrograde is trying to ruin that. And I say no. Fuck that. You may feel like you're receiving the wrong information or spiritual demands. So I would say, like, when you're meditating or you're contemplating, just pace yourself. I also see around this time, because Jupiter is in Gemini, having to do with paperwork and wordplay, that legalities become much more complex. You know, communication is not exactly where it needs to be done. So we have to still work on it, because we have Jupiter, which is a benefic planet. Okay, it's beneficial. And then we have Saturn, which is a malefic, and they're both immutable signs. So it's like they're kind of moving in opposite directions, and they're causing tension. So it's like, on one hand, I want to be expansive, I want to do this, I want to do that, but it's going to take some time. And on the other hand, Saturn is saying, you know, your dreams can come true. Things do take time. Results do take time, but you also have to work. So that's kind of the feel that we're getting when we have the planet Jupiter squaring Saturn around this time. But let's get into the most exciting part, which is the all signs forecast. Okay, that's a little bit corny. Aries, this full moon is taking place in your third house, okay? The house of communication, your siblings, your immediate surroundings, your everyday talk, your language, how you move, texting, all that jazz. So you're going to be coming out with some type of truth to your immediate circle. What is happening in your immediate world? What do you need to change in your immediate environment? Are you thinking of moving? Are you moving? Are you thinking of moving along with your sibling, or ending a relationship with your sibling, right? Are you getting a new car? Did a dingo eat your baby? All right. I also see with Mercury direct, because Mercury will be going direct in a couple hours after the full moon, that you'll find clarity around how you think, what you're thinking, how you move, how you travel, how you write. I feel like Aries has been kind of all over the place, facing a lot of tough situations this year. Some of you guys have fallen sick. Some of you guys had people around you fall sick. Some of you guys have felt like a loss of purpose, or maybe, from what I've seen over the past couple of months, a loss of friendships. And now I see what you're doing is you're bringing everything back into your own environment, the things that you can control. And you're saying, okay, I now have a grip on what I want to control. I now have a grip on my own mindset, what I want to say, what I want to write, what I want to get out there to communicate. I have that type of clarity. Now, Mercury will be trining Mars, so that's going to affect your area of higher learning, travel. And then you have Mars, which will be retrograde in your area of children, of joys, gamble, of game. So around this time, you'll feel self-motivated and optimistic around traveling and learning things that are enjoyable, but they will take some time to manifest. So if you're thinking about going on a vacation with you and your children, or with a boo thing, or receiving some type of class in something that you enjoy, like maybe you want to do martial arts or spin class, that will take some time to have that manifest, but it will manifest. So don't even worry about that. So good luck to you, Aries, suns, moons, and risings. Now on to Taurus. Taurus, this full moon is happening in your second house of self-worth, your value, the things that you own, and finances. So I see around this time that you're gaining a new perspective on what you're worth, what you value, what you have, how you can obtain things, how you can make money. There has been this evolution that's been happening with Taurus, suns, and risings. In some moons, in the sense that you now want to have your own, you want to be an entrepreneur. You don't want to be working for anybody else. You want to state your own claim. You are in the era of boss mode. And what this new full moon in Gemini is showing you is that you have the potential to have a higher earning potential. Around this time, you could be getting paid. Around this time, you are getting clarity and speaking truths about yourself. You are speaking truth about yourself to yourself. I can see that you're gassing yourself up. You're giving yourself the confidence and saying, hey, you can acquire these things. You can afford these things. You can make money. You have that ability. You are worthy. You are special. You are confident. I see many Taurus, suns, and risings giving themselves that type of pep talk. Also around this time, Mercury is going to be trining Mars. Mars is still retrograde. This is going to affect your area of life that is personal, and the area of life that has to deal with psychology and debt and intimacy and the things that you are bonded with, right? So I see that you have a motivation to get to the bottom of things, to transform yourself and your circumstances, your home and surroundings. You're like, okay, maybe I need to transform the way that I feel, the way that I think about things. Maybe I should transform how I bond with a partner or how I bond with my family. Or maybe I just want to change things up. You know, maybe I want to buy this piece of furniture or buy this new blanket or something like that, because you will be getting paid around this time. All right. And you just want to feel good. You want to feel in control of your environment. You want to feel pleasure and know that life is in your control, and that you just want to feel the feels. You just want to be cozy and confident. Is that too much to ask for Taurus suns and risings? Gemini, this full moon is about you. Okay, you're revealing something. You're coming out with something. You're coming out with your truth. Now that Mercury will be turning direct at the end of the day, you're starting to form clarity around yourself, where you want to go, how you want to look. I don't know if you're doing some surprising. I don't know if you're getting your nails done, a new hairdo, but you're coming out with your own truth and you're standing your ground. So good for you, Gemini suns and risings. I see that now that you found the words, because you found the clarity, you are making declarations and you're telling your truth to others. Now the sun will be in your area of relationships in Sagittarius. So you're saying, guess what? This is where I'm at in my life. Yes, I did this, I did that, but I'm standing my ground and I'm going to pull my britches up and pull myself up by the bootstraps. And it's going to be what it's going to be. Gemini suns and risings, you're now currently in this energy of this going to be what it's going to be. This is who I am. Deal with it, and good for you. Now I see that Mercury is trining Mars, and it's going to be affecting your relationships to others and how you communicate with others and who you want in your world or who you feel safe from. I also say that you could possibly making some new type of commitment or truce with somebody, or maybe you're signing some type of contract with someone, you're doing business with somebody, some type of documentation. You're making moves with someone and everybody else is going to have to deal with it. But you're not going to compromise yourself, your wishes, and what's good for you. I also see, because Mars is retrograde in the sign of Leo, that you need to take your time when it comes to reading over things. You could be motivated from another party, somebody else, to be like, yeah, we should do this. We should go into business. We should that. We should co-sign on this. But it's still retrograde. So when you have a planet retrograde, you have to think things through. So think your actions through before you sign that contract. Remember, you are moving into a space where you are doing things that are beneficial for the new you. Don't get tricked out of the new you, the leveled up version of you. Now on to Cancer. Cancer, this new moon, this full moon is going to be happening in your 12th house. You know, the spiritual area of your life, meditation, isolation, things like that. The full moon is asking you, Cancer suns and risings, to retreat. Okay, to go into isolation, to meditate for your truth, to find that type of clarity. You can't find that clarity when you're always working, when you're working your fingers to the bone. People want to say Cancers are lazy and this and that. No, they are not lazy. They do what they want to do when they feel like doing it. But Cancer is a very hardworking sign. You have to remember, it's the sister sign to Capricorn and it's cardinal. So you guys are always working. You guys are always making your way towards your goals. But around this time, you are being asked to receive clarity. There's a special message waiting for you to find clarity on certain situations. And you have to be alone and you have to be by yourself. And you have to be in a sense of peace and openness to receive what you need, the guidance that you need going forward with your life. I also see that some secrets may be exposed. Maybe be exposed to you. You know, like you have this issue, really need to work on it. It doesn't always have to be like somebody's airing out your dirty laundry, but it can be that. But I'm giving you a heads up, okay? Mercury is direct in the sign of Sagittarius in your house of daily living, of your health. You're able to find clarity around what works for you and what's not working for you. If the job you're working at works for you, you could have been kind of confused on some type of symptoms that you had health-wise. And you're like, what's going on? What's wrong with me? What's this? What's that? And the sense of it is that you don't have any spiritual peace. You're under a lot of stress. So this full moon is saying you need to meditate so that you could find exactly what you are stressed about, so that you could change your spiritual life and your physical life at the same time. So Mercury is going to be trining Mars in your area of your job and your finances. So I see that you're motivated towards building resources, creating your own after you have this eureka moment, perhaps putting more into your self-care and your self-love, doing self-love affirmations and looking in that mirror and saying you are somebody, you are a priority. It's okay to care for others, but care for yourself first, right? Not care. Because Mars is retrograded, it will take some work when it comes to your self-esteem, when it comes to finding your voice, when it comes to finding you again, and when it comes to making another stream of income. But you just keep that faith, because it's still Sagittarius season. Okay, and the dispositor of this full moon is in Sagittarius. You just keep that faith. Keep it. Now on to Leo. Leo, the full moon will be taking place in your area of your groups, your friends, your community, like the broader community, your socials, your social media, your social standing, and your goals and your dreams. You are realizing that something needs to change about that. You're realizing that there might be a snake in your midst. You're realizing that you need to change the way that you come across to people on a grander scale because it is affecting you personally. It's making you look bad, okay? Or you just want to change. You just want to change the avenue in which you're going, and that's fine. Sometimes that takes changing your friends group. Sometimes that takes changing your goals. Maybe you've outgrown them. Sometimes that takes, changing your surroundings. And I see yourself doing that around this time. You're either going to end some friendships or ties to a group, or you're going to grow out of them. Now with Mercury direct, you're working on something else that brings you joy, that aligns with you. And some of you guys may find that you are pregnant. Some of you, you're having this new baby. So if this new baby is not an actual baby, it could be your own personal project that you're working on, because you have now consumed yourself with something or someone that is your new object of desire, your new object of fun and play. I see that you're trying so hard to find joy and work in your passions and in yourself, but everything is slow-mo for you. Mars is retrograde in your sign, Leo, in Leo rising. So I see that you want to get the ground running. You have some new goals, some new dreams. You're working on some passion projects, but you need to pace yourself, especially if you fall into that category where you are having an actual baby. Pace yourself. Do not push yourself. Your goals are still going to be there, okay? But your health and your well-being comes first. So good luck for you, Leo suns, risings, and moons. Now to my Virgos. Okay, Virgo, this full moon is taking place in your area of life that comes with reputation, your career, your public standing, and things like that. Something is coming out about you, or you have a message for somebody, something that you're going to say is going to shake things up, or it's going to end. I could see that if you are working for somebody else, if you haven't quit already, that they are going to leave, like your boss is going to quit or resign, like something has come out about your superior, and you're going to be like, ooh, because it's a Gemini moon, it's going to be some gossip or some talk around that, or yourself or your public standing, or you wanting to change your public standing. I see that you're going to become more vocal around what you feel, what you believe, and you're going to take a sense of pride in that. Mercury is going to be retrograded in your area of life that has to do with home and family, your private life. So I see you're having clarity around home, situations with your family members. You're going to learn them, because Mercury is in the sign of Sagittarius. You're going to learn why they acted the way they do. You're going to learn why you've had these type of ancestral patterns and why they keep being repeated. You're choosing to change them. I also see that because it's connecting to your private area of your home life, maybe you are choosing to work from home. Maybe you're sick of the hustle and bustle of being around people, because Virgos, we could barely be around our own minds. So being around people, I don't know, maybe you're making a statement about your family, or you're making a statement saying, hey, I'm going to be working closer to where I lived, those type of announcements. Now, Mercury will be trining Mars retrograde, and that is going to affect your personal, your private life, your spiritual life. So you're going to be more inclined to tap into yourself and prepare for something, to prepare yourself for something. Maybe you're preparing to move to a different country, or you need a vacation, or if you don't get that vacation, you're going to quit. It could also mean that the things that you're working on in private, you're going to turn into a career. So we just love to see that for you, Virgo suns and risings. We cannot wait to see what you're coming out with, or what the hell you're going to reveal and say. My Libras, Libra suns and risings and moons. This full moon is taking place in the 9th house. So I think you're having some emotional revelations on where you're going in life, what you believe, the path you're on, the classes you're taking. Should you be in college? Why did you go to college in the first place? Was it worth it? You're in some type of class or some type of course. You also could be thinking like, I've been thinking about it. You know, I've been thinking about this or that. I've been going this course for so long, but why? Why am I going this course when I should go this course? It's just something, I just can't do it anymore. I don't want to live this type of lifestyle anymore. You could be having those type of thought patterns around this time. So now that Mercury is going direct, it's going to be going direct in your area of life that has to deal with your immediate surroundings, your thought patterns, your mind, your communication style. So I see at this point, you're going to be clarifying this sense of clarity around what you think, what's been going on with you, what you've learned, and what you'll do going forward in the here and the now. You're coming back to yourself. You're coming back home to something. Mercury will be trining Mars retrograde in your area of your friendships and your immediate surroundings and your kin and your ace boon coons and your sisters and your besties. So you're more motivated towards planning towards your future. You're more motivated in catching up with people, being out there with those who you feel are a part of your circle and things like that. But I see that when you have these grand plans that you're making now that your mind is back on track, and you're saying, okay, I need to change some things. I need to change my friend group. I need to change my path in life, where I'm going, my goals, the things that I want to accomplish are changing. That's going to take some time because Mars is retrograde, but you're kind of needing that time to strategize exactly where you want to go now that you've had this big epiphany, this big awakening. So pace yourselves, Libra, suns, moons, and risings. Now on to Scorpio, my stingers. The full moon will be happening in your 8th house. What is the 8th house? Intimacy, your bonds, financial investments, psychology, things like that, your psychological health. I see that during this time, you're prioritizing that. You're receiving clarity on why you're bonding with people, who you should be bonding with, what ties that you're making, what patterns that you keep repeating to yourself on a psychological basis. I could also see that you could be receiving some type of grant. It may be your last, but you're receiving it, okay? You're receiving something from somebody else, or some type of heirloom from somebody who has passed or is passing. So I'm so sorry, Scorpios and Scorpio risings. You're receiving something. Mercury is going direct in your 2nd house. So now that certain things have stopped, grants or welfare or child support or things like that, you now have clarity around how you can earn your own. Okay, how you could create your own wealth, how you could create your own sense of self. You're no longer relying on other people to tell you how important you are. You're no longer relying on their resources or their inner resources, because you're going to have your own, okay? You're going to have your own confidence in your own skills, values, and you're going to monetize that. And we have faith in you, Scorpio. Now, Mercury is going to be trining Mars retrograde, so that's going to be impacting your finances and how you view yourself on the inside and your public standing. I see you're making moves and you're motivated to change. You're motivated to change your career, your reputation, how you earn money, because you now have this awakening of the things you can do, of your own skills, of your own values, of valuing and accepting yourself, of validating yourself. And you're saying, okay, this is it. This is how I want to move. This is where I want to go. Now I have my path lined out for me. I want this career. I can do it. This, that. But because Mars is retrograde in the sign of Leo, it's going to take a little bit of time to see those results in your career, in your finances, but you will get there. February 23rd is when Mars goes direct, so you will get there. Now, my Sagittarius suns and risings. The full moon will be taking place in your area of your one-on-ones, your relationships. There's going to be a lot of emotional things happening within your relationships and within your connections. You may be ending relationships, or you may be ending some ties with a client or with a business partner, with a lover or a friend, or you're having an emotional revelation that if this person cannot emotionally satisfy or fulfill you, then the relationship is over. You're asking yourself, now that you have the clarity around that situation, was it worth your sanity when it comes to holding on to this person or these things that you were involved, these contracts? Was it worth it in the end? Really? Sagittarius, was this person worth it? And now that Mercury's direct, you'll have clarity on yourself. You are now able to process yourself, your immediate surroundings, and to know exactly where you want to go in life. You're making clarity of everything around you, including yourself, and that's what we want for Sagittarius. No longer saying this person did that or that person did this. You are taking accountability of yourself. You see what the hell is going on, and you making them moves, and we're so proud of you, Sagittarius, sun, moons, and risings. So proud of you. Mercury will be trining Mars retrograde, so it's going to be affecting yourself and what you believe and where you want to go and where you want to travel and what you want to learn and explore, because now you have this clarity on the direction that you have and what classes you want to take, what college you want to go to. But Leo Mars retrograde is saying think first. It's saying take a while, weigh your options, what courses you want to take, on where you want to travel, look at the prices, and slow down and think. Because Sagittarius is ruled by a centaur, it's a horse. It's hot in the ass. It wants to keep galloping and moving. Mars in Leo is saying you can move, but move wisely. Now we have Capricorn. Capricorn. Okay, the full moon is going to be taking place in your area of daily life. You're having emotional realizations about your workspace, your living space, what's going on with your mental health. Okay, that is of utmost importance to Capricorn. Capricorn goes, and goes, but you guys need to really think about taking care of yourself, of your emotional health, of your mental health, because everything is mental, then it's emotional, then it affects your surroundings, then it affects you because it affects your body, and then it affects your aura, and all that other shit. Or something that was a passion project of yours is being put out in your workplace. I can see that some of you guys could be quitting your job, or it could be an end of some type of stressor or whatever. Mercury will be direct, so you're receiving some spiritual clarity on needing to balance out your work life and your spiritual life. You need a balance, and you're now connecting the dots, and you are surrendering to that type of message. You're surrendering to the fact that you could go out and you can accomplish things on your job and your workplace. You could try to medicate. You could try to self-medicate yourself by just working and going, because I know Capricorns like to do that, but during this time, there needs to be a balance that needs to be struck between the two, because you're mentally suffering from it. Mercury is trining Mars retrograde, which will be affecting your, like I said, your spiritual health and your psychological health. And now you're motivated towards unpeeling the layers of why you feel this way. You're cultivating something as well. You're cultivating something in secret. You're always working on something, Capricorn. And you're always working on something in secret so you can prove people wrong. But that's going to take some time. You need to prioritize your health. Okay? Take a break. Stop trying to be this evil genius. You are a human being, not a machine. All right? So I know there's going to be some bonds and some contracts, and you want to make sure that everything is covered so that you won't get cheated out of that. I also see that during this time you can have enemies trying to plot against you. You're going to need that time to balance out that private space so that you know exactly, so that you can receive the downloads and the intuition to see exactly who is for you and who is not, who has been working behind you and what has been shown in front of you. Watch out, Capricorn. Rest so that you can gain clarity around what is going on around you. Work on that. All right, Aquarius. I love doing that for Aquarius. I don't know why. But my Aquarius suns and risings, this full moon is taking place in your 5th house. So you're going to have a lot of emotional realizations around your interest, your hobbies, your boo things. You're going to be like, okay, am I interested in these things? Am I interested in these activities anymore? Why was I doing these things? Was it because it was something I picked up from childhood? Or there could be something new happening with your child. Your child could be coming out with something that they need to tell you, or they're ending some type of project, because the 5th house also rules children, right? And there's some type of ending going on with this situation. Now, Mercury's going to be going direct, so you're going to be receiving some type of clarity around your projects, your goals, your social presence, social presence. That could be your social media presence. That could be your groups. That could be your friends. And Aquarius, we know how important that is to you because that belongs to you. That area of life belongs to you. You're Aquarius. You rule those type of topics. And now I feel, now that you're ending these type of personal projects, or you've ended things with a lover, or you're finishing something that you personally enjoyed, I see that you're ready to get back out there and connect with people, right? You have this motivation to connect with people, to explain yourself. You have some collaborations also that you like to work on with people, but I see that you're being asked to pace yourself. It's not because I'm asking you. It's because your sister sign, Leo, Mars in Leo retrograde, is saying that you need to pace yourself before you jump into a relationship or a friendship or collaboration with somebody. You need to watch their steps real quickly and yours, you know? Because you have some Aquariuses out there that want to be friends with everybody. You can't be friends with everybody. You can't collaborate with everybody. And then you be in trouble. But I see you trying to get back out there and make sense of your life. Make sense of your connections and your goals. So yeah, we have faith in you, Aquarius. It'll take some time, but you'll get there. Last but not the leastest is Pisces. My Pisces suns, moons, and risings. This full moon is taking place in the area of your 4th house. See that you're facing some emotional truths regarding your private life, regarding your emotional life, what you've been feeling with, regarding your lineage, the family dynamics, or your home. I feel like you're either leaving home. Some of you young Pisceans are leaving home. You're going to run away from home because your family's getting your effing nerves, or you're graduating from some sort of emotional turmoil. Things are now making sense to you. I can also see that the other Pisces who are grown are thinking of moving somewhere or creating some type of atmosphere in which they could thrive in. Will you be doing this to clear your mind? Will you be leaving your home to clear your mind? Will you be communicating with your family now that you have this sense of clarity? Will they be communicating with you certain things in the way that you can understand? You know, you'll have compassion because Pisces have compassion, but there still needs to be respectable boundaries, because I see Pisces, they like to take in everything from everybody. So even though your family's like communicating with you, realize that there needs to be some sort of distance between you and that person if it is creating some type of atmosphere where you are picking up on everybody else's feelings and emotions. Now, Mercury will be direct in the area of your life that rules like career, your public image, how you're seen to the world, your vocation. Now you have a clear vision of where you want to go, how you want to be seen, how you want to be taken seriously, your own personal path. It's because you had this full moon eureka moment in your 4th house of emotional realizations. And when you are in your private space, you have received exactly what it is that you want to do. Now, Mercury will be trining Mars retrograde. So this is going to take place when it comes to your career and when it comes to your work life. So I see that you are now motivated to get back on track, to go socialize with the world, to integrate yourself back into society, go back to work, heal yourself, focus on your health, focus on leveling up and things like that. Becoming this new version of yourself from the inside out, because you're taking care of your health and your emotional health, your psychological health, and you are rising back on to the top. You're rising to the top. But Mars is still retrograde in the sign of Leo in your 6th house. So I see the repairs that are being made to yourself, your body, in your work. It's going to take time, but it will yield fruitful results around February 23rd of next year, because I believe that is when Mars goes direct in the sign of Leo. You have the confidence, you have the faith. Just pace yourself. All right, so now that we've wrapped up for the Gemini full moon, I want you guys to get down in the comment section, and I want you to tell me exactly where you receive clarity and where you're going to face these endings, or what you're going to do about your life at this point. What you gonna do?
Let me tell you something. You don't own no streets.